good afternoon. We're about to begin our December 4th, 2018, Town Board Town Board meeting. If we could, start by standing for the pledge. Jim, since you're over there.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
And if I could ask everyone to just remain standing for a minute, if we could just have a moment of silence, for the passing of our 41st President, George H.W. Bush. Thank you very much. And we will start with, actually I'll do announcements, and then we'll move on to the invocation. But actually, Jim, go ahead and do the invocation, then we'll go to announcements.
Okay, as part of our faith community, we start every meeting with an invocation, and we're proud to have with us today the Reverend Mary Cooper from the House of Praise right here on Roanoke Avenue. Thank you, Reverend Cooper, for being here.
My pleasure. Let's bow our heads in prayer. Father, we thank you for another opportunity to come before your presence with thanksgiving and praise. We thank you for this season of joy. In spite of all that we have gone through and are going through, we ask, oh God, that you continue to give wisdom, understanding, and knowledge to those who rule over us, oh God, that they may come together as one body, so there will not be confusion in this community, oh God, but growth in this community, and love and peace and joy. We thank you, oh God, for protecting us, oh God, and we ask, oh God, that you continue to bless the weather, so that we can do the things that we need to do. We ask, oh God, that all who have come with petitions and decisions, oh God, that they'll come together for the betterment of this community, oh God, that we can leave a legacy to our children, our grandchildren, our great-grandchildren, that you may be glorified in this place called Riverhead. We thank you and we praise you in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Reverend Cooper.
Yes, thank you, especially about the weather.
All right, we have a few announcements for today. The town of Riverhead will hold a workshop on how businesses can invest in the newly created Federal Opportunity Zone in downtown Riverhead and EPCAL. That workshop will be held tomorrow, December 5th at 12 p.m. at Hotel Indigo. If anybody is interested in attending that, they can call through our Community Development Agency or reach out to the staff in my office. The Anti-Bias Task Force will also be holding a forum with Erase Racism, which is an organization that leads advocacy campaigns to promote racial equality. In the forum, we will increase our shared understanding of racism, its history on Long Island, and its implications through interactive exercises and conversations. They will explore what can be done to achieve the many benefits of more inclusive communities. And that actually is taking place tonight at our senior center on Shade Tree Lane in Riverhead, and the time is from 6 p.m. to 8:30. We had asked for pre-registration, but you can register at the door, and a light dinner will be served at 6 o'clock. So hopefully, everyone can come out and join us for that. It'll be a very helpful and informative, interactive, really, event. So we really hope everyone comes to that. We have a parade this Saturday, December, I'm ready for spring. December 8th at 3 p.m. The parade starts at the corner of Osborne Avenue and West Main Street, heading down Main Street to McDermott Avenue, and then down along the Peconic River. Following the parade, we will have the bonfire on the riverfront. That will be from 4 p.m. to 7 p.m. Please bring a chair and a thermos and join. We also have free hot cocoa, candy canes, pictures with Santa, Christmas caroling, holiday music, and more. And it's always a great event, and it's so I hope everyone can come out and join us for that. The Senior Center this Saturday from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. Is having their annual holiday open house. There will be games, crafts, and you can take a picture of Santa. Will also be there from 11 to 11:45. The event is free, but please bring one non-perishable food item per person to be donated to one of our local pantries. No pre-registration is required, and obviously that's for all ages. And once again, we remind everybody to sign up for e-notifications, and you will be notified by email. You can check off what events you want to be notified for, and they'll be delivered to you, so you can be on the have your pulse on all the activities that are going on here in Riverhead. And finally, happy Hanukkah to our Jewish community here in Riverhead, and may the lights of the menorah brighten your home and warm your hearts, and to your family, from my family to yours, have a blessed holiday. And we are now going to have some music.
Yeah, I think that the, Opportunity Zone requires registration too, so that, for tomorrow at 12 at Hotel Indigo, if you wanna go to that, you have to register today or tomorrow morning with the CDA or supervisor's office.
Very good. Ms. Haas, if you'd like to come up, you're gonna sing a couple holiday songs for us? Got a lot of stuff going on, right?
Okay, happy holidays, everybody. I see a lot of people must be busy doing a lot of things. Well, we've got us here, so. Woo! We've got us here. Okay. I have a little dreidel, I made it out of clay. And when it's dry and ready, oh dreidel I shall play. Oh dreidel, 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 I made it out of clay. And when it's dry and ready, oh dreidel I shall play. Hey! Now we'll go to the winter time. Sleigh bells ring, are you listening? In the lane, snow is glistening, a beautiful sight. We're happy tonight, walking in the winter wonderland. Gone away is the bluebird, here to stay is the new bird. He sings a love song as we go along, walking in the winter wonderland. In the meadow we can build a snowman and pretend that he is Parson Brown. He'll say, are you married? We'll say, no, man. But you can do the job when you're in town. Later on, we'll conspire as we dream by the fire to face unafraid the plans that we made, walking in the winter wonderland. In the meadow we can build a snowman and pretend that he is Parson Brown. He'll say, are you married? We'll say, no, man. But you can do the job when you're in town. Later on, we'll conspire as we dream by the fire to face unafraid the plans that we made, walking in the winter wonderland. Yeah.
Thank you very much, Harriet.
Okay, everybody have a good meeting.
Thank
Thank
you.
you. Happy holidays.
You too.
And now a special treat, Denise Civiletti will lead us in the next song. We'll do it at adjournment time.
Okay, at this time, can I have a first and second to come out of the town board meeting and to go into the CDA meeting?
I move we come out of town board meeting and go to CDA meeting.
Second.
Moved and seconded, vote please.
Kent,
Wood.
Yes.
Giglio,
Yes.
Wooten,
Yes.
Jen Smith.
Yes.
Good afternoon, Dawn Thomas for Community Development. We have resolution for approval of the minutes of the CDA special meeting on November 7th at 6 p.m.
So-
Just call the vote.
So,
Can I have a first and second to accept the minutes of the meeting?
so moved.
Seconded.
Moved and seconded, and then,
Okay.
Go.
Kent. Yes. Giglio.
Yes.
Wooten.
Yes.
Jen Smith.
yes.
The resolution is adopted.
And then can I have a first and second to close the CDA meeting and go back into the town board meeting?
I move we close the CDA meeting, so Dawn can go back to work and reopen the town board.
Second.
Moved and seconded, vote please.
Kent?
Yes.
Giglio?
Yes.
Wooten?
Yes.
Jen Smith?
Yes.
Resolution is adopted, thank you very much.
Alright, thank you, Dawn.
Those are the kind of meetings we like.
Did a great job, Dawn. Great
1
job.
minute.
Don't be like that, yeah.
And now back into the town board meeting, can I have approval, for the minutes of November seventh, 2018 at 2 p.m., minutes of November seventh, 2018 at 6 p.m., minutes of November 20th, 2018 at 6 p.m.
I move that we accept the minutes from November 7th and 20th.
I'll second.
Moved and seconded, vote please.
Kent,
Yes.
Giglio,
Yes.
Wooten,
Yes.
Jen Smith.
Yes.
The minutes are approved. You want me to just go into
Yes,
reports and
please.
stuff? Okay, under reports, the building department submitted their November monthly report for $223,737.25. Town clerk November monthly report, $7,833.45. Under correspondence, we had 4 letters of opposition in regards to the public hearing of November 20th for a Masson residence/office conversion of 918 Main Road, Accaboag. And I will point out that there is a misspelling on the word Accaboag in here twice, so I will correct that. There was a letter from Anthony Portillo, AD, AMP Architecture, and in response to questions from the town board at a public hearing of November 20th for the Masson residence/office conversion of 918 Main Road. And there was also 11 letters in support, in regards to the public hearing, same public hearing of November 20th for Masson for that office conversion at 918 Main Road, Accaboag. And that's all I have.
Okay, so then we will move into public hearings. Our first public hearing, which was to start at 2:05, it is now 2:20, which is, chapter 225, parades, assemblies, and special events. 255, 225, 255, I was gonna say. Bob, do you want to just review this?
Sure. This is, anybody who watches Channel 22 will, undoubtedly know that this one's been one that's been discussed, I think it's 4 times with the town board. There are a lot of changes that are being proposed. I'll try to touch on some of them. I'm sure I'm not gonna be able to hit them all. First, well, let me just rephrase a little bit, I'll go back one. As far as parades and assemblies, there is no change. That's, still, being, proceeded with and handled the same way. It's done through the police chief and the police department. With regard to special events as they're defined, there are a number of changes. The first is there's, some new definitional, clauses, one being for charitable organizations. There's a definition that's found at the second page, which now defines them as organizations that are considered to be exempt not from federal taxation under 501c3 of the Internal Revenue Code, and requires them to also be registered with the Charities Bureau of the Attorney General of the State of New York. There's a provision that defines a food vendor. At the next page, a special event. The current definition provides that a special event is one that consists of 100 spectators at any one given time. The proposal will change that to include attendees and spectators when calculating the number of 100, and it eliminates at any one time, so it'll be for the entire event. So if during the duration of the event it exceeds 100, that'll be considered a special event, and therefore one that requires a permit. With regard to the permitting process itself, when a permit is required, there are a number of changes to 255-9. First off, the small gathering threshold is going to be reduced. Currently, it's from the 100 number to 1,000. That'll be changed from 100 to 750. That's the proposal. As far as the large gathering, and there are 2 different ways the large gatherings were also calculated, they're now going to run from 751 to 2,500 attendees, and then from 2,501 to 5,000 attendees. The reason this is being done is because also further down, we're changing the lead time or the required time by which an applicant must file an application with the town clerk. Currently, for the short form or the small gathering, we require that they be filed at least 40 days before the event, 40 calendar days. That's gonna be bumped up to 90 calendar days. For the smaller of the two large gatherings, that's the one that's 751 to 2,500. The period of time is going to run, currently it's 120 days, that's gonna be bumped up if this is adopted to 180 days. For the larger of the large gatherings, that's the ones where the attendance is expected to exceed 2,500 or 2,501. The time period or lead time is now gonna be bumped up from 180 days to 270 days. In addition to those changes, the town clerk is now going to be given express permission to reject an application that's deemed incomplete. That's found at 255-9. In addition, the insurance requirements are now going to have some more specificity that the form of the insurance must include a provision that it can't be canceled without notice, and the notice that's given to the town has to be 30 days prior to the event. At page 8, under 255-10, we're now codifying what we've pretty much been doing by practice, which is that we're requiring applicants to notify adjoining property owners with certain types of events that could be impairment to their use of their property or a hindrance. Under 255-11, the town board is looking to add one additional provision for when they adjudicate or look at a special event, whether approve or deny, and that's found in 255-11B, subsection 1, which will state the following: possible conflicts with other events and seasonal demands which may overtax or cause an undue burden on town services for parades and special events shall be considered if the parade or special event occurs within 30 calendar days of another parade or special event is to occur during the period of Memorial Day to Veterans Day, knowing that that's a little bit of a more increased time for the police to be asked upon to do these things and other events going on. We also now have a late application fee. The late application fee will provide for a fee of $20 per day when a submission is submitted in untimely according to that schedule that I just mentioned earlier. And also states that there are firm cutoff dates when it will not be considered regardless. With the small form application, there will be a 45-day cutoff period. So if you're within 45 days of the commencement, it will not be accepted or considered. In the case of long form, it will not be accepted or considered if it's 60 days within the event date. We also put some specific language to spell out what the alcohol beverage requirements would be as far as insurance coverage. And then there was some additional language added in to allow for penalties to be calculated on a daily basis. So each day that event occurs would be a separate and a distinct offense, and that's at 255-20.
That's it?
Well, as I said, I didn't have, there's a couple that I didn't catch, but, yeah.
So is anything from the board? Anybody from the public that would like to come up and comment on any of the proposed changes?
Sal Mastropolo, Calverton. On page 14, 255-12 application fees. The only thing that I see.
Just 1 second, cause we don't have the pages listed by number, so it's 255-12?
Yep. Under A, it says the application for permit shall be accompanied by a non-refundable application fee and/or late application fee in the amount established by resolution of the town board of the town of Riverhead as required by 255-9A. When you look at 255-9A, there's nothing there that talks about fees.
Is that the fee adjustment schedule that we're proposing? Do you
It's
wanna address that?
my understanding that what the board is proposing to do is to hear the comments with respect to these changes,
So we'll,
And if there's no adverse comment, they're looking or aiming at doing adoption at the next meeting, which is 18th. And at the same time, establishing a fee schedule at that time.
okay, so we can expect to see a resolution with a fee schedule.
A fee
Will
schedule.
that fee schedule, address fees for the different sizes of special events?
Yes, it will be, so there'll be 3 categories, so there'll be 3 separate prices, and that's attached to the, basically, you know, the size of the event and the amount of work that has to go into it, the fire marshal has to go out, the police are involved, things like that.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Anybody else would like to comment?
I just wanna thank Laura Calamita for working hard on this with us.
I'm just looking when to. Okay, seeing nobody else, I will close the public hearing at this time, but leave it open from written comment till December 14th. And is there anybody that would like to come up and comment on any of the resolutions that we have before the board?
Sal Mastropolo Calverton, Resolution, 903. Resolution 2018-903.
903, okay, I'm sorry.
I read this resolution, and, I mean, it's like 4 pages long, because there must be 10 extensions. Where do you draw the line on extensions? I mean, this project's been in place for 15 years, and we're still giving them extensions on the road and drainage. Don't you think it's about time to close the project and force them to either finish?
I will tell you that, in fact, the attorney for the applicant was hoping to get it done by the end of this year, and they're very, very close. There was one sinkhole that developed, which hopefully they've addressed. There was a little bit of a debate on one aspect of the last road. They have 3 of the 4 sections, the roads have been dedicated to the town. The last one we're looking to accept, and provided that one's in a good shape, we should be completed. This should be the final extension.
Okay,
So I know I'm not addressing the question, but I can assure you that they are
so
they are
we're not
as
gonna
eager
see
to-
the same thing in 2
they are
years.
as eager to get off this as we are to get this project done.
Was
Okay.
the highway superintendent ready to take the roads in?
There was one little issue that developed on one property with sinkhole, so I know we were out there, we looked at it. I think that he has to go out and have our consulting engineer take a look at it and make sure that everything, we just get the road course and everything else. But I know that Mr. Strauss, who's identified in this resolution, was working to try and get it done by this year. He's just not gonna make it.
So should we change it to, instead of a 2-year extension, amended to, December 1st, 2019?
Our code says
Only-
it's a 2 years.
it has to be
So
the
what
2
it is
years.
we grant them 2 years and we extract the $2,000 fee for the 2-year extension.
Maybe if we change the extension fee to 5,000, they'd move faster.
That's a thought. As long as you don't come up and say we're taking too many fees.
Me? Resolution, 2018-908. This resolution makes no mention of the model number or the VIN number of the vehicle, okay? And it's interesting because it's a 2014 dump truck and it's $175,000. And then you read on, and 909, again, there's no mention of a model number or of a VIN number, and it's a 2019 truck, and it's only $67,547. I mean, these resolutions should have a model number and a VIN number, okay, so that they're very specific to the truck, because you're approving purchases.
Agreed, we can certainly add that, I don't know if we can get that information before the resolution. John, do you think we'd be able to get just a description? We'll see if we can get that information.
Okay, Resolution 919. I thought we were changing town board meetings to 6 o'clock for October, November, and December, okay? And now I notice that the proposal is to go 6 o'clock for the entire year for the evening meetings. In October, November, and December, 6 o'clock is fine because it gets dark early. But when you get into the, April, May, June, July, August, September, now the days are longer, okay? And I mean, if you want to entice people to come to meetings, moving it to 6 o'clock is not going to entice them. okay? Because they're gonna be giving up valuable daylight hours during really nice times of day. So I would suggest you take another look at the 6 o'clock and maybe do it January, February, and March, and October, November, and December, and leave the April through September at 7 o'clock. It's just a suggestion.
It's a good one.
Thank you.
See in the middle of the summer,
I do too, I think we switched it to see what kind of feedback that we get for so far at the 6 o'clock. I think it's been, pretty positive, but we can discuss that when the resolution comes up, if anybody would like to change it.
Seems like we have more people at 6 o'clock, which is what we
Yeah.
want.
Well, during the winter months, cause there's no longer daylight hours.
you're right.
All right, we'll move on to resolutions at this point, we can discuss that resolution when it comes up. The one thing I would like to do, if possible, can we bundle resolution 8 through 13, because they're all renewal of bids for the water district. Which one? It's,
8 through 13.
yeah, so it'll be, 897, 898, 899, 900, 901, and 902,
So 897 through 902?
yes.
So we'll have to pull them out separately, because they're all for separate things?
No, we don't have to. If you'd like to, we can, but we do not have to. You can do it by consensus with that. Did you wanna come up and speak?
Barbara Bloss, Jamesport, good afternoon, everyone. Resolution 916, which I believe is a notice of adoption or notice to publish and post an amendment to the bulk schedule for commercial districts. And if I understand, the intent was to ensure that the dimensional regulations were consistent with the code with respect to TDRs as they affected development downtown. If you look at the chart, however, I think under FAR in the DC1 district, the chart still reads FAR 5.0 with TDRs, and I don't believe that was your intent. I could be wrong.
That would be correct.
I think it's page 105 in your packet. It says 5.0 with TDRs. Fortunately, your public hearing on the matter actually had the NA, so you don't have to go back and have the public hearing again. But this resolution, I think needs to be amended to conform to that.
Okay, let us just check on the public hearing notice for that, but thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Good pickup, Barbara. Good job.
Diane, do you have the copy of the public?
I have the one for the public hearing.
Okay, does that,
The public hearing, which was,
was that,
on September 5th is when it was, heard. The dimensional chart that was attached to that one, 301 attachment 3. If you go to the floor area ratio or the FAR, the maximum with transfer of development rates under that was changed from 5 to NA.
okay, so we can amend it,
It does not? Okay.
So-
all right.
so
we would have to
we can
amend that,
amend this on
yes.
the floor as we take it off the floor? Okay,
Okay.
And that's for,
that's for resolution,
no, I know, but which district?
916 DC1.
DC 1.
DC one.
That one's gonna kill you, though.
Well, if the notices and the public hearing is different than what we're adopting, then.
No, the notice and the public hearing were correct, it's the resolution
This is what was,
for,
the public hearing had the NA as.
to accept it.
As the speaker pointed out, so what should happen is the adopt should have that NA under the FAR when it's, coinciding with or tied to the DC1 zoning district, so I swore I copied the same chart, but I'm not sure why I did that.
Okay, that's fine, we can just amend it because it
Okay.
was noticed.
So that's the only thing that has to be done.
Okay, we can move on to resolutions, everybody okay?
Resolution eight,
Oh, somebody else, okay. You guys are slow coming up to the podium today, come on.
Come on now, stand in line, you know the scoop.
Gonna just start calling people
Hi,
out.
Martin Sinulski, Riverhead. Just in hearing those last comments, does this have any effect, or is that tying in anything with the proposed discussion about DC one zoning? What was just I'm not familiar with the change in the table.
This is, just, we had a chart when the TDRs were, put into place back in 2005, I believe it was, and there was some Scrivener errors on the actual chart that coincided with the TDRs, what was actually written in there, so it's just a correction of what was written,
Okay.
To the chart.
It doesn't, it's not, this has nothing to do with the future revisions of DC
The
one?
discussions that we're having about the height of the buildings, no,
Thank you.
yeah. All right, anybody else that would like to come up and address the board on any resolutions before us? Going once, going twice? Okay, we will move on to resolutions.
okay, resolution 890.
Appoints a student intern, so moved.
Second,
Moved and seconded, vote please.
Kent,
Yes.
Giglio,
yes.
Wooten,
Yes.
Jen Smith.
Yes.
Resolution adopted. Resolution 891.
Appoint student intern, so moved.
Seconded?
Moved and seconded, vote please.
Kent,
Yes.
Giglio,
Yes.
Wooten,
Yes.
Jen Smith.
Yes.
Resolution adopted. Resolution 892.
Reassigns the salary of an automotive equipment operator, so moved.
I'll second that.
Moved and seconded, vote please.
Kent,
Yes.
Giglio,
Yeah, and I just wanna thank Eric Turpin for stepping up to the plate. He's, really, we had, his operator that he was working with was out for 3 months, and he handled all the sanitation throughout the town by himself. And now the, person that he was working with is retiring or resigning, so he's going to be training somebody else to come into this position and help him out, so thank him, he's doing a great job, and yes.
Wooten,
Yes.
Jen Smith.
Yes.
Resolution adopted. Resolution 893.
This appoints a temporary substitute custodial worker 1 to the Building and Grounds Division of the town. So moved.
Second,
Moved and seconded, vote please.
Kent,
Yes.
Giglio,
yes.
Wooten,
Yes.
Jen Smith.
Yes.
Resolution adopted. Resolution 894.
Appoints a temporary part-time clerk to the tax receiver's office, so moved.
Seconded?
Moved and seconded, vote please.
Kent,
Yes.
Giglio,
Yes.
Wooten,
Welcome Hannah, yes.
Jen Smith.
Yes.
Resolution adopted. Resolution 895.
Approves employees' request concerning accrued time carryover, so moved.
I'll second.
Moved and seconded, vote please.
Kent,
Yes.
Giglio,
Yes.
Wooten,
Yes.
Jen Smith.
Yes.
Resolution adopted. Resolution 896.
Appoints member to the Senior Citizens Advisory Council. So moved.
Second,
Moved and seconded, vote please.
Kent,
Yes.
Giglio,
yes.
Wooten,
Yes.
Jen Smith.
Yes.
Resolution adopted. Resolution 897.
I'll
okay.
call this one. Can I have a first and second for resolutions, 2018-897, 2018-898, 2018 resolution 899, 2018 resolution 900, resolution 2018-901, and resolution 2018-902. They are all for 2019 renewal of bid awards, for the Riverhead Water District. So can I have a first and second?
I'll move it.
I'll second it.
Now.
Moved and seconded, vote please.
Kent,
Yes.
Giglio,
Yes.
Wooten,
Yes.
Jen Smith.
Yes.
Resolutions 897 through 902 are adopted. Resolution 903.
Approves extension of performance security posted by Campo Brothers in connection with the subdivision entitled Birchwood at Wading River Section 3, so moved.
Seconded?
Moved and seconded, vote please.
Kent,
Yes.
Giglio,
Yes.
Wooten,
Yes.
Jen Smith.
Yes.
Resolution adopted. Resolution 904.
Authorizes the supervisor to execute an agreement with County of Suffolk Office for the Aging, AAA Transportation Program, so moved.
I'll second.
Moved and seconded, vote please.
Kent,
Yes.
Giglio,
Yes.
Wooten,
Yes.
Jen Smith.
Yes.
Resolution adopted. Resolution 905.
Authorizes the town clerk to publish and post a notice to bidders for a used or refurbished postage machine. So moved.
Second,
Moved and seconded, vote please.
Kent,
Yes.
Giglio,
yes.
Wooten,
You really can't go out and buy one? Yes.
Jen Smith.
Yes.
Resolution adopted. Resolution 906.
Awards bid for 841 Old Country Road sewer main and easement relocation for the Riverhead Sewer District. So moved.
Seconded?
Moved and seconded, vote please.
Kent,
Yes.
Giglio,
Yes.
Wooten,
Yes.
Jen Smith.
Yes.
Resolution adopted. Resolution 907.
Awards bid for chemicals for sewer district. So moved.
I'll second.
Moved and seconded, vote please.
Kent,
Yes.
Giglio,
Yes.
Wooten,
Yes.
Jen Smith.
Yes.
Resolution adopted. Resolution
Just
908.
one sec. Do we have any numbers to this?
We don't, I don't know if you want either wait and have comments on other things and come back to it, because we're trying to get information possibly still have.
Okay, we'll move on, we'll skip these two resolutions, go down to, resolution 909?
910.
No, I'm sorry,
911.
911?
Oh, no.
910.
Scavenger waste.
Okay. Resolution 910.
Scavenger waste budget adjustment. So moved.
I'll second.
Moved and seconded, vote please.
Kent,
Yes.
Giglio,
Yes.
Wooten,
Yes.
Jen Smith.
Yes.
Resolution adopted. Resolution 911.
911 is a scavenger waste budget transfer. So moved.
Second.
Moved and seconded, vote please.
Kent,
Yes.
Giglio,
Yes.
Wooten,
Yes.
Jen Smith.
Yes.
Resolution adopted. Resolution 912.
Police budget adjustment. So moved.
Seconded?
Moved and seconded, vote please.
Kent,
Yes.
Giglio,
Yes.
Wooten,
Yes.
Jen Smith.
Yes.
Resolution adopted. Resolution 913.
Business Improvement District 2019 budget adjustment. So moved.
I'll second.
Moved and seconded, vote please.
Kent,
Yes.
Giglio,
Yes.
Wooten,
Yes.
Jen Smith.
Yes.
Resolution adopted. Resolution 914.
You can certainly tell we're nearing the end of the year when people are transferring money.
Yeah.
Police department budget adjustment. So moved.
Second.
Moved and seconded, vote please.
Kent,
Yes.
Giglio,
Yeah, I'm happy we'll be getting new vehicles, more vehicles for our new sector downtown.
Wooten,
Yes.
Jen Smith.
Yes.
Resolution adopted. Resolution 915.
Adopts a local law to amend chapter 273 of the town code entitled Solid Waste, section 12 thereof entitled Enforcement Penalties for Offenses. So moved.
Seconded?
Moved and seconded, vote please.
Kent,
Yes.
Giglio,
Yes.
Wooten,
Yes.
Jen Smith.
Moved, yeah, moved and seconded, yes.
Resolution adopted. Resolution 916.
Adopts a local law to amend chapter 301 entitled Zoning and Land Development of the Riverhead Town Code. So moved.
This is the one to
requires
be
to amend.
adjusted, so we want to amend,
Yeah, let's
the
fix that.
DC one FAR, for the with transfer of development rights to strike it from .5 to make it not applicable. So that would be, to
Amended.
amend it.
As amended.
I'll second as amended.
Moved and seconded as amended?
Kent,
Yes.
Giglio,
Yes.
Wooten,
Yes.
Jen Smith.
Yes.
Resolution adopted. Resolution 917.
This is, 780 Old Country Road Sewer Project 20029 closure. So moved.
Second.
Moved and seconded, vote please?
Kent,
Yes.
Giglio,
Yes.
Wooten,
Yes.
Jen Smith.
Yes.
Resolution
That was
adopted.
correct, right?
Resolution 918.
Ratifies acceptance of donation of evergreen tree from Lewin Farms. So moved.
Seconded?
Moved and seconded, vote please?
Kent,
And thank you to Lewin Farms. I vote yes.
Giglio,
Thank you. Yes.
Wooten,
Yes.
Jen Smith.
And yes, and thank you, and we have a nice tree actually for the start of the parade over by the community garden over there.
Resolution adopted. Resolution 919.
Establishes time of regular meetings of the town board. So moved.
I'll second the motion.
Moved and seconded, discussion, this is what we said that we would discuss, this is the times of the meetings, do we want to keep them at, 6 o'clock moving forward, see how we do with it with the upcoming year, same as we did for the past, 3 months?
I like 6 o'clock, and I still think more people come out at 6.
And I have young children that I like to have dinner with from 5 to 7 and then getting here at 7, especially when the daylight hours are longer. So I would like to keep the summer meetings at 7 and then change January, February, March, and September, October, November, December to 7 o'clock.
Well, my thoughts are, well, it's one meeting a month, so I'm not worried about the dinner thing. I mean, I can schedule
And
one
just-
night a month
Just
to
to
be here, but I think there is some validity to what Sal said with the 6 o'clock meeting, but I think we have the ability to see how that works, and if, you know, it's
We
just
can
a matter
adjust.
of changing. I mean, we change times all the time.
And-
That may be something we can take up without throwing the whole baby out with the bathwater at this point.
And I think it's confusing switching back and forth between 2, 6, and 7. And just so you guys know, that what has been precedent, what the board has done before, for all of July and half of August, the meetings are all at 2 p.m. There aren't any evening meetings, during that time, and that has
When
been.
was that?
That has been for the past, Diane, how many years has that been going on? For the July meetings and August meetings, that they're all at 2 o'clock, the summer meetings mostly
No.
have,
It was just July,
just July, but how long has that been going on for?
probably
It's just,
7 years maybe.
So
6 or
that's what
7.
you
just
guys have
July,
been,
just July, yeah.
but that's what you guys have been doing for 7 years, so, you know, so that daytime, nighttime thing wouldn't really be in effect in the height of the,
You
sort of the
guys.
longer days.
How many?
So, I have a first and second, any other discussion?
Well, we'll see how it works out.
So, vote please.
Kent,
Yes.
Giglio,
No,
Wooten,
Yes, I'll try it.
Jen Smith.
Yes.
Resolution adopted. Resolution 920.
This ratifies the execution and submission of a grant application to Suffolk County for fiscal year 2019 Community Development Block Grant Funds. So moved.
seconded.
Moved and seconded, vote please.
Kent,
Yes.
Giglio,
Yeah, I'm happy to see Council for Unity back on here and some other new programs also, yes.
Wooten,
Yes.
Jen Smith.
Yes, I don't believe Council for Unity has ever received funding before from us in the past, as far as I know. So,
Yeah, not through a block grant.
yeah, and I think they,
Not through block grant, but
yeah, and
we
I
did
think
have-
they had lost
Through
one of their
private
other
donations,
grants,
yes.
so, it will support that.
Resolution adopted. Resolution 921.
Ratifies amendment of site plan approval for Michelangelo's Restaurant, 300 East Main Street, Riverhead, New York, Suffolk County Tax Map Number 600-129-2-32. So moved.
Seconded?
Moved and seconded, vote please.
Kent,
Yes.
Giglio,
I am going to vote no because I think that the Landmarks Preservation Commission and the Architectural Review Board should have had an opportunity to look at the final sample before we approve this, so I will vote no.
Wooten,
Yes.
Jen Smith.
Yes, and I think that the final decision rests for with the town board. The Landmarks Preservation and the Architectural Review Board both did review this and make their recommendations as advisory boards to the town board. I think the town board, tried to follow their recommendations in this. I know that there was some difficulty because the original material that the Architectural Review Board and Landmarks Advisory had, recommended was unsafe, to be placed on the building, so for safety reasons, they needed to switch to another material, which the town board did approve so that they could move forward and open up, in a timely fashion, so yes.
Yes, and I was told that on Monday night when Landmarks Preservation Commission was meeting, they asked them to come back with the sample, that they would approve the stucco, or the ephes, but they just wanted to see what the final finish would look like, and that was asked for on Monday. They said they would have it in a couple days, and then they appeared at the town board work session on Thursday, and now the town board is overriding the landmarks and the ARB without them seeing the sample. So again, it's,
The town board is not overriding the Landmarks or the Architectural Review Board, they are both advisory boards to the town board. So we did accept their advisory opinions as to what they would like to see up there, but the town board then made a decision so that the developer was able to get moving so that they can open up.
Bob, am I correct in saying that the landmarks is more than advisory?
I believe the legislation puts them in a position of advisory, but I'll have to look at that.
I actually have it if you'd like to look at it.
But we're not actually overriding them, we're going with their
Yeah,
recommendation.
I have to
They were
agree.
looking for us to get something as close as possible to the marble, since the marble wasn't safe, there were concerns about it falling off. with their advisement, we approved something as close as possible to the marble but safe.
And I can tell you, I have a lot of respect for Richard Wines and the whole committee for landmarks. I appreciate trying to keep the history and the historic preservation of Riverhead, and it means a lot to me as a person who's lived there. But I can tell you that this one particular building has jumped through so many hoops, and so many setbacks through regulations and oversight, and it's absolutely the worst of government that I've seen. Normally it moves pretty smoothly, but this has been arduous for them. Only because the building is in such bad repair that you can't make it like it was when the Security National Bank in 1951 when it was built. But this material that they came up with, I thought is a good fix. It's gonna look nice. You're not gonna be able to tell. I think and I think landmarks would appreciate it if they saw it. Maybe they feel a little affronted because they weren't on the forefront of it, but I think they would certainly, and I've talked to Richard, I think they would like this.
I think they just would have liked an opportunity to see it. I mean, I got a phone call at 3:25 on Thursday that the sample was here. I appeared at town hall at 4:15, and the town board had already signed off on the sample, and the sample was gone. So we don't even know what they showed us to compare it to when they actually put it up.
Well, they
I'm not sure what you're saying.
I was in your office and I said, where's the sample? And you said
Did
they
you
took
see
it
it?
with them.
They
No,
needed to take it
No,
to
they had
show it to
taken
the
it.
guy that was going to make it or
Oh,
something.
yeah, okay.
but the guy made it that afternoon. So,
They
and
Right,
then
they
brought it back
they
here.
needed it.
They came to the town board work
Oh,
session.
they were so anxious, it was still wet when it.
Yeah, they
Right.
came to the town board work
No doubt
session, they
about
said
it.
if we could have it back by the end of the day today, could we get an approval so we could start putting it up the next day?
Right.
And that's what they did, and we had 3 people here that were able to get here, that looked at it, they approved it, and they were up doing it the next day.
It looked really nice, actually.
I was here
think
within an hour and they had taken the sample away with them, so you asked me to call
They
over
shouldn't,
to the
they
building
shouldn't, they shouldn't have
department.
taken the sample, I agree with you on that, I don't know why they took the sample when they left, they should not have, they should have left it here, but they did leave with the sample, and I'm not sure exactly why they did do that, but they did have the approval at that point, so,
Okay.
okay?
Well, it's only in the tower area anyway, it's not on the whole building.
It's in the tower and then it's to the right of the door.
In
Yeah,
the
a
other
little bit,
section.
yeah, a little bit.
It's the archway that had the marble on it.
I don't think, I think we need to get it right, and this was, I believe, approved by the others, and we were really holding up this project in an unfair way.
Well, I have the timeline of when they submitted information and they got an answer within 2 days. And then it was weeks before they came back to the landmarks preservation, so.
Well, I
it
think
is what it is.
think that we came to the best resolution that we could to get them moving so they could get their doors open, and
Right.
provide a restaurant for downtown that we're all looking forward to. So I think that
Right.
the final outcome,
I bought a red shirt for my first dinner there.
there you go.
You know, I was spilling all over my white shirt.
Diane, we went through the whole.
Okay, yes, we did, I just wanna say
Pay bills.
resolution adopted.
Okay.
Okay, resolution 922.
Pays bills, so moved.
I will second.
Moved and seconded, vote please.
Kent.
Yes.
There's
Giglio.
nothing in
Yes.
here for me.
Wooten.
Yes.
Jen Smith.
Yes.
Resolution adopted.
Did we get any information on those?
Yes, resolution 909, which is authorizing the purchase of the 2009 Ford dump truck.
Yeah.
We just talked to the municipal garage, they haven't purchased it yet, we don't have a VIN number, but the model is a Ford F-550. And for,
Brand new, right?
yeah, but it's 2019, so that's why. So that's what we do. And then for 910, or not 910, 908,
Mm-hmm.
2014. Yeah, the dump truck on it is a Kenworth, the municipal garage can give us a model number, but it's a Kenworth, I have the VIN number, I don't know if I want to yell it out, 16 digits, I can give it to you.
It's a Kenworth, what, diesel, I guess?
I believe so, Mike, the garage is just literally texting me what the model number was.
So it's a,
But I can't give you the VIN number, Bob, if you wanna, or Diane, if you wanna put it in the resolution for record. So, I'll yell it out again, or?
And you wanna, or should I get it later?
You can
Doesn't matter.
write it down.
How do we do that, Bob?
Write it down and then we'll call it out.
Okay, and I'll get it from him later, yeah.
Okay, so we will go, is everybody okay, calling resolution 908, which is authorized purchase of a 2014 dump truck for use by the town highway department.
yeah, I'm okay with, I just think probably the difference in the
I think it's a
The
semi-truck.
older truck with the more money is, I think it's equipped for plowing, like it says.
Yeah.
It probably comes with the blades and everything, so there's probably a lot more equipment on this particular truck. Alright, 908 is authorizes purchase of a 2014 dump truck for use by the town highway department, so.
Second,
Moved and seconded, vote please.
Kent,
Yes.
Giglio,
yes.
Wooten,
Yes.
Jen Smith.
Yes.
Resolution adopted. Resolution 909.
Authorizes the purchase of a 2019 Ford dump truck for use by the town highway department. And that is a Ford F-550, and it's a 2019 model. So moved.
Seconded?
Moved and seconded, vote please.
Kent,
Yes.
Giglio,
Yes.
Wooten,
Yes,
Jen Smith.
Yes.
Resolution adopted.
that's a really good price, by the way.
Okay, at this time, I will open up the floor for any comments from the public, if anybody would like to come up and comment.
I must be shrinking. Big time. My name is Antoinette Carboni. I live in Riverhead, right off Middle Road. I have two topics. The chief of police and Jody, they've heard me talk about it before, but I think it's something the town board has to address and address it soon. The first has to do with the enforcement of the speed limit on our roads, particularly Peconic Bay Boulevard and Middle Road. Peconic Bay, I believe, is 30. Very few cars will do that. Middle Road is 35. It was reduced from 40 after they reduced Route 58 from 45 to 35. Middle Road is now a bypass. You know that. Can't change people's habits of how they drive, but you can enforce the speed limit.
Okay.
And as you know, I have working with the Assemblyman and Senator Laval to get the town, the authority, to set their own speed limit and not the New York State DOT. I'll continue to work on it. I ask for your support when I do that. It's very important. But in the meantime, I request that we stress to our police department to enforce the speed limits, particularly on those two roads. The second problem deals just with Middle Road right now. And that's the truck traffic that has increased on that road. They're using it to avoid 58. On November 8th, at 9:50 in the morning, a cement mixer was heading west. I live at Sunken Pines Estates, which is between Northville and Roanoke. That truck was followed by a large truck, not as quite as large as a trailer, but certainly large, speeding down west towards the industrial site. At 1:20 the same day, as I'm exiting the second time, there is a flatbed truck pulling a flatbed trailer. And he's speeding down, but now I'm going in the same direction, and I followed. When I hit 40, I dropped down to 35. He was so far ahead of me, but I caught up to him at the roundabout, again at Mill Road. And when I made my right on Manor, he was heading to that industrial site. Now on Manor, you will see trucks coming up because they're coming from 58, 25, and that is the way. They should be going down 105 to 25 to 58 to Manor. Middle Road cannot handle it. It's residential. High residential, because you have more than 5 multifamily communities on that road. Now, something has to give. Either you limit the weight, or limit and then stress truck deliveries only from Northville to Depot. But something has to be done. It's not safe anymore. It's a winding road, they don't care.
We have, the chief of police has been coming to our work sessions once a month, so we will bring up your concerns.
Yeah, well, I'm on the traffic safety
I know.
committee, but unfortunately, because of Thanksgiving falling on our meeting date, we didn't meet. I know we have a meeting scheduled for this month. I wasn't sure if we even have that because of the holiday, so I had to bring it up. But the chief has been very good. He's been hearing my complaints for 12 years.
He's good at listening.
Right,
All right, we'll
Jody?
see if maybe we can do something. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
I slow down to 30 on Peconic Bay Boulevard all the time when I go around that big corner.
Sal Mastropolo, Calverton. I listened to the local radio station, and last week, there was an advertisement for the Riverhead Light Show. And my ears perked up, and I expected it to be an advertisement for the light show on the river, okay? And then I continued listening, and all of a sudden it came, the advertisement said, yeah, come and join us on such and such a night at the sports park in Calverton.
They're doing a lot of advertising on that.
Yeah, but should they be advertising as the Riverhead? It almost seems to imply that it's town-sponsored,
I don't.
okay? And they don't say whether it's fee or free, okay?
I don't think they call it the river, I think they call it in Riverhead.
No, it said the Riverhead Light Show, the one that I heard.
Are you okay, 97.5?
Well, you have Riverhead Raceway also. I mean, there's a lot of things that have Riverhead before it. I don't know if there's any, I haven't heard the ad, so I don't know if there's an implication, there or not. But there's a lot, you know, you have Riverhead Beverage, you have Riverhead Raceway.
Yeah, I
you
just
have Riverhead-
figured I'd bring it up because like I said, it was confusing and they didn't say whether it was fee or free. So it almost seemed to imply that it was free, but it's not.
Well, what is free is the bonfire this Saturday, that everybody should come down and see the light show from the bonfire down in Riverhead.
Yes,
And the parade.
We'll light the Christmas tree in the
Santa's gonna be
menorah.
there.
Uh-huh.
Are you Santa?
No.
No, Santa is Santa.
The real Santa comes. We have the real Santa come down for that. Marty used to be part of that crew.
I'm gonna miss it. I'm gonna be away this weekend.
No, it'll be me and one other kid.
Martin Saluski, Riverhead. I'm here to just raise a few concerns with regard to, I understand through articles and through seeing some work sessions online, I know that there's been discussion about moving ahead with some substantial revisions to the DC1 zoning. That type of a action, that type of a revision to the code, puts the town board as a lead agency, and that is definitely a type 1 action. Type 1 action includes any land use change in excess of 25 acres. I did a quick calculation. I'm sure that the DC1 zoning area does exceed that, so it does make it a type 1 action. In that it is a type 1 action, it would require it to be designated as such by resolution, that it is a type 1 action. That would then also trigger it to be referred to involved agencies and interested parties. After that is done, and after input from those agencies, there would be a determination as to the determination of significance, whether it's pos-dect or neg-dect as an action. With regard to that, in making that determination under SECRA 617.7C, item 1, it talks, that refers to criteria under 617.7 that indicate that something may likely be may have a positive determination made. One of them, sub-item 4, is the creation of a material conflict with a community's current plans or goals as officially approved or adopted. So the fact that this is going to have an impact or a change to an adopted master plan in the town, I believe that this should be a pos-dect action, so that will require scoping hearings and additional information to happen prior to you adopting any official change of the code. I was a little bit surprised at the one resolution that was done tonight with regard to the dimensional criteria. That, I understand that was more of a housekeeping thing from what I understand, but this goes well beyond that.
I believe you came and spoke at that public hearing.
I don't recall, I honestly
did.
don't. Also with regard to significance, and this is right off the DEC website, what the lead agency, in this case the town board, needs to do is to provide a written explanation of its reasoning, concluding that the proposed action may cause or will not cause significant adverse environmental impacts, and they refer back to 617.7. In doing that, the board has to demonstrate that it has considered at least the following. Two of the items under at least the following are the criteria for determining significance found in 617.7, which I previously referred to. And then lastly, any input from involved agencies and interested agencies, interested organizations, or other groups of people and the general public. Historically, and I think I may have been at that meeting, I don't know, but I know in the past, historically, when the town board has a public hearing with regard to a code change, what I've sort of found, and I don't know, I'm not saying this is the case all across the board, but it seems like you come to, a good example is the SECRA, adoption of SECRA in the zoning. A lot of people came up to the podium, talked about some good ideas, possibly dovetailing some things in with site plan review, et cetera, et cetera. What you realize is that when you're at that point and you're at the public hearing, all of the decisions have been made, and basically, here it is, this is what we're doing, read it, make comments. You know what, you come to the town board meeting when the resolution's ready to be adopted, how many comments are considered? None of them, in most cases.
I'm gonna take, I'm gonna take,
It-
I'm gonna take account of it, because we do listen to the public comments, and during that time, and then there's still written open for 10 days comment. A perfect example is that we had a public hearing about
Bamboo.
a special, Bamboo, we went back and wrote
No,
that 3 times.
Again,
And-
it's not a blanket statement, I
No,
apologize.
but I just wanna say that we just had a special hearing on a special permit. We had a public hearing the other day. We have almost 15 comments back from the public, as well as people coming to the public hearing to discuss it, and I think those comments from the public and the letters from the public certainly have a big impact and are taken into consideration when people make their decision. And then when a resolution is up, there's a comment period before the resolution is voted on, so you have your public comment period, you have your time to comment on that, and you can also hold it open for more than one public comment period, which is, we did with the qualified and eligible. We held that open because there was a lot of public comment that needed to be heard on that. So I think that we really do try and allow enough time for the public to comment, and we listen to their feedback on it, so
Yeah, I
just
mean,
take
I
a
didn't
little
mean to
pause
imply
with
that you don't do that.
Yeah.
It's just, a lot of them have to do with a lot of the real technical things and sort of suggestions that are made when you see some things that are very specific, technically, because some of that you're talking about is very subjective, but then there are some things that are very specific. I guess the reason I had mentioned that is due to the fact that as far as this action and really changing to some extent the DC1 zoning, and not sure what that's going to be yet. When I referred to it being a type 1 and it has to go to involved agencies, I would presume that even though the town board is the bid board and the town board is the parking district board, they would still get referred to the parking district and bid, because those, there are advisory boards that you listen to that would then review the information and have a chance to have some input on it.
But I think that's part of the reason why we're doing it the way we're doing it. We have had it at 2 work sessions, we're continuing to have it at every single work session, until we kinda get through the process. So we're trying to be very transparent so the public can see how we are going through the process. I also think the papers have been covering it, it's been in the committees, the liaisons from the different committees, from whether it's the downtown committee, the parking committee, working with the bid, it's all getting reported back to them. And they are giving comments and feedback on it also as we're
Right.
going along. There'll be a more formal way of doing that. Just as yourself, I'm sure that you've seen it, in the work sessions and you've read about it in the paper, and that's what brought you here, so it's not
Exactly.
just the one
That is
sort of
true.
thing that you may or may miss. We realize that this is a very big, significant conversation that we're having about DC one. And so we're trying to have that be an open discussion, and we will continue to have it as an open discussion, so that people are aware it's going on and can comment.
Right, I think it would, well, from a technical standpoint, totally per secret, because when it comes to any action, whether or not an action is defensible and can stand up, is more about whether it follows secret to the letter of the law versus what the content is.
We also just put we just changed our process for secret, and we codified it, where it had not been codified prior to this. I forget when we did that, Bob, not too long, couple months ago. So it's very specific as the procedure and how the town does that, and we actually have made our secret even more comprehensive than the state's requirements for there. We tailored it for our town, so things do not fall through the crack, like whether it has to be a type 1, type 2, or unlisted. So we've put that in place, and anytime you do a resolution, it always goes through SECRA, and then you determine who the lead agency is, or your request for lead agency. It does go out to all of the, as a type 1, does go out to all of the other involved agencies. If nobody takes charge of it, it does come back, whoever sent the letter out, whether it's the planning board or the town board, to be lead agency. And all of that happens prior to any, whether the resolution gets passed or not in public hearing, so.
I mean, I'm on the parking committee, I'm not aware of I'm not aware of a referral coming to the parking committee, cause I would assume that they would have emailed it to all the members.
Well, we haven't gotten past the stage. They are aware that this is going on, they're aware that we're looking at DC, the zoning down at DC one, but as far as the work sessions go, we haven't even made it past, the size of a building. And the parking as far as required parking or not, that would be separate and apart from the DC one zoning. There is another resolution that has been put out, and had the public hearing for required parking for downtown, and that has not finished going through the SECRA process yet, and that has been quite a while. I think you are probably aware of that, because you were involved in creating the north side parking lot plan. And we would like to have the results back from what we just went out to a outside company to get a parking plan.
should
And
be
we are
back soon,
not
I believe,
interested in, doing one thing, and then while we've been waiting for the plan, so we're waiting for that plan to come back, so that we can then move forward with that, and, make sure that the two of them are aligned together, so.
If there is one thing that, cause what you'd mentioned is, you said we haven't gotten to the point yet. The last thing I would like to request, and I've talked to a few other property owners downtown, I would like the "we" to include us also, because it would be nice to maybe send a notice out or put something in, or have a, like, even if you put a notice out or a thing in a paper that you're gonna have a roundtable discussion, because the work sessions are really your work sessions, and people in the audience really aren't involved to participate in a work session. If there's a way, while you're drafting this legislation and you're looking at it, if you could put together some type of a forum that would involve the property owners, so that we can, I understand, you look at it with the planning staff, and everybody does a good job, you got a good planning staff, and they, refer on to other, areas where they've looked at different things and what could happen and how to look at it. But I really think a big part of it, that right now I personally think is missing, and I've talked to some other owners who feel the same way, is that property owners haven't been given an opportunity to have an open forum, to sit down and have a discussion. And I'm not saying you haven't had discussions with property owners, you probably have, I'm sure. But I think it would be good to involve us in what you're working on, so that when it gets to the time where you have the public hearing, people could see that things are in there ahead of time, instead of trying to address them when you already have drafted the zoning and saying, well, this, that. I think if we could address them earlier.
I think we learned that a bit with the bamboo. I think especially with topics that are complex, I think it's good to have a fairly close to final draft before you head that stage, so then it can be tweaked. But I certainly hear what you're saying, and think it's a good idea.
Yeah, I agree with you. I've spoken to a lot of people down on Main Street as well, and they're everything.
I know, there seems to be some exclusion that they're feeling, but that can be remedied.
Yeah, I'd like to see that. It would be good if you could let us know and we could come down and have a
There
discussion
are some
about it.
stakeholders that sit on the committee, but as a whole, no, but you're.
And Marty, just to let you know, I've been working on this as the liaison to the downtown committee, and the downtown committee does have representatives from each of those groups that you mentioned. We have a downtown property owner, we have a business and, someone from the business, the chamber, the bid, and I think there's someone who's on the parking district. And I did sit down and talk at length with a property owner downtown
Is
about
that a
this,
regular
too.
meeting? Is that like a scheduled meeting, that group that you're talking about?
They meet once a month, and then their subcommittees meet.
Okay,
As
so
well.
the downtown committee meets once a month?
Yes,
Okay, maybe that would be good if, you know, I'll look it up on the website, it'll say when it is.
yeah, and the property owner that I sat and talked with asked me about that too, and anybody's welcome to come to the meetings.
Okay, all right, then, you know, that would be a
We're
good thing
happy to
to
hear
do,
from you.
spread the word. I don't know if there's,
Public forum is probably a good idea.
okay.
Yeah, we're always happy to hear from people in the community.
All right, I'll look up what the date of it is, and I'll try to get that information out to other owners. So maybe when, you know, the next meeting, a few of us could come down and sort of get brought up to speed, we'd greatly appreciate it. Thank you.
And I think you can also probably request to speak.
Right.
That's probably the
I
better
mean,
way
if you wanna reach out to me, I can put you on the agenda.
Okay,
I mean,
thank,
things always work better when we're all on board and working as a team.
great, thank you very much. And officially, though, you should do the referrals under the type 1, because in order to really stand up in the secret, it's gotta be defensible.
I'm not sure what you're referring to, the referral.
Well, under type 1, you actually have to send out a referral for comment to involved agencies.
Oh, absolutely,
Right,
yeah,
so-
no, that's all done.
I
That-
just,
listen,
I'm on the
that is,
park committee, I haven't seen one yet on our end, so that's all I'm saying, just,
okay,
thank you.
but, okay,
Thank you, Marty.
all right.
And as one more thing, I'm gonna say belated happy birthday to the supervisor.
Oh my
To
gosh.
embarrass her. I see her mother and sister are here, maybe they're continuing the celebrations.
It's
Thank
your
you.
birthday?
It
It
was,
was just a couple days
yeah.
ago.
Is that right?
Yeah, are you gonna sing?
Well, I certainly would have.
Matt and I have the same.
I would've had
Matt and
I would've
Matt and
had
I have the
Harriet
same.
sing to you.
All right, if seeing nobody else, can I have a first and second to adjourn the meeting?
I'll move to adjourn.
Second?
All in favor? Aye. All right, meeting adjourned.